Hey guys, I am done. I am exhausted. I feel like I've been living Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events. So yesterday was a bad health day. I was exhausted from class, just not feeling well. I ended up getting sick later, so that was not pleasant. And it turns out we all kind of got sick, the dogs included, so that's part of the unfortunate event. Um, my son had his first introduction to his pre-K classroom, which was really cool. It was so exciting. But he skipped his nap. So, a preview of events to fear soon. um, so he went back to daycare. He came home. He fell asleep the car at home, and he'd been sniffly. So he was so zombie-ish that I left him, and that was a bad decision. I've learned my lesson. Oh God, it was terrible. Thankfully, my youngest is an angel, complete and total angel. God love her. Fell asleep right about 8 o'clock watching Caillou, which is kind of brain melting in itself. But it was at that point that I was like, all right, I need to get to bed now. Like I have to force myself to lay down because I know I have this terrible feeling that my son is gonna wake up and be like, okay, done play, yay, it's 2 in the morning, like. And I was right, only it wasn't 2, it was 11. And I don't do well with little sleep, like at all. Like I become a zombie. And he was up at 11 o'clock. So I got out the dinner. He didn't eat, I got his fruit cup. We had Chick-fil-A to try and do something special for him to celebrate pre-K, and that didn't work out. But I got it out. He had his dinner. He had his water. I sat him down. We chilled watching Sprout TV, Pajanimals. And he seemed ready to go back to bed. So I scooped him up, took him to his big boy bed. I crawled into bed with him, make sure he stayed there and fell asleep because he's a sneaky one, totally. And he didn't sleep. And of course, I'm exhausted at this point. And he's fussing and crying and whining because he is tired, but not tired enough to go to sleep. Like, we all have that feeling, It's like when you stay up to read like one chapter of a book and end up finishing the book and you're like, totally shouldn't have done that. Yeah, like that kind of tired, pissy. And so I'm frustrated. He's frustrated. I got up my iPad, which I normally wouldn't do, but I did. So I let him have the iPad, and then the dogs started rustling around, and I'm like, well, that's weird, Then I'm like, Zena's been having some issues, tummy issues, if you know what I mean. Like, I'll get up and I'll walk the dogs. And that was probably around 12:30. So I walk the puppies. Nobody does anything. I think somebody peed, and then everybody comes back in. I'm like, all right. At that point, Dean's at the kitchen table, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, I just stay in bed. Stay in bed. I'm like, all right, you got your drink. Back to bed. And of course, he melted down because he didn't want to go back to bed. Oh my God. Oh God, everybody settled down. The dogs at that point started shuffling again. I'm like, oh, all right, getting up, I'm already up. I walk the dogs. Everybody pooped everywhere. I'm like, all right, well, this isn't good. Both the dogs are having stomach issues. And I'm like, did I change their food? Did Audra give them something? Did Dean give who fed the dogs what? Because it's not good. Not good. So I come back in. Dean's at the kitchen table. I'm like, oh my God. I dragged him back to bed. At this point, he's getting loud. And I'm like, oh, please don't wake up everybody. Please don't wake up your sister. Please don't wake up the dog. So finally settle down. Just go to bed. Go the F to sleep. And he cried and fussed and cried and fussed and cried and fussed. And the dog started getting fidgety again. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. Oh my God. I'm like, I'm ignoring the dogs. Dogs are going to play. They can go to bed. Whatever. I'm tired. So I let him be. Eventually they settled down. Eventually Dean settled down. I did the thing where he wanted to be touched, but he didn't want to be touched. So I did like a half hug, and then like you rock him, but you can't rock him too much, but you can't stop because even if he's almost asleep, if you stop, he's gonna wake back up. Oh my God, the things I don't tell you about parenting, right? And I think I have him asleep, and I totally think I have him asleep, and I'm like, yes, finally, thank the Lord. And I try to rescue my arm, out from under him, and I got it. I got my arm, and I'm like, oh, it's bedtime. And the dogs are fussing, and I'm like, fine, last time, and then I'm going to bed. So Dean's asleep, resting. I'm like, yes, hallelujah, praise the Lord. 2:30 in the morning. I'm walking to go get the leash, and I step in something. Can you guess what I stepped in? Yeah, it was a pile of diarrhea, and because I didn't have my glasses on, because I'm running back and forth, I don't really, I'm like, shit, literally, like between my toes, squishy, because are you grossed out yet? Because I was completely grossed out. I was like, oh my God. So I hopped to the bathroom to grab the Lysol wipes because there's nothing else you can use. It has to be Lysol wipe. It has to. So I cleaned up my foot. All right, and I cleaned up the poo. I walked the dogs again. And of course, nobody had to do anything because whoever it was obviously already did it. Come back in, and Dean's at the friggin' kitchen table again. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how I felt. And I'm like, okay, that's it. Everyone's going to bed. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I need sleep. Forget everybody else. I need sleep. So I put him in his bed, and I cordoned him off with pillows. I gave him whatever the hell he wanted. And I laid in the bed so that he couldn't get off the bed because he has a little trundle bed up top, and climb the little steps to get up. So we would have to get over me to get to the steps to get. Yeah, I was laying it was like a U. I don't even know how I managed to. It was magical at that point. Everything was magical at that point. And he finally went to sleep. I don't even know how long it was because I zonked out. I remember grabbing him and hugging him to keep him down once or twice. But oh my God, it was not good. It was not pleasant. It was one thing after another, and this girl. And of course, Audrey dearest, was up at 6 o'clock, which is pretty normal. But when you haven't really slept all night, it was terrible. It was terrible. It's terrible. Having kids is hard, people. Really, this is the drill they should run everyone through. Because you think after your newborn years, they're on a sleep schedule, they're in daycare, everything's fine. Yet no, this is easy. Totally easy. Totally. Oh my God, no, it's not. Well, not when you have to do it alone. If there's 2 people working together, maybe we could have split. Dean's not sleeping. I don't know, but it was not good. And I woke up and I was like, you gotta be happy, you gotta be nice, you gotta walk the dogs, you gotta deal with this. And then I still had to get Dean up. He woke up on his own at 7 o'clock. I was shocked. I thought I was gonna have to dress him asleep and just throw him in the car like a sack of potatoes. And no, he was awake. So I warned him. I'm like, he'll probably zonk out early for nap time, And I don't know if it was the excitement from pre-K, the school thing, if he was stressed. I don't know. That makes me worry a little bit, that something, he doesn't do well with new things in different situations, me either. But that's why we did the test run, so he understands this is your teacher, this is what your school looks like. Of course, he'll be riding the bus Monday, which is cool because he loves buses, But I wanted him to meet his teacher. These are your student people. This is the area you're going to be in. I wanted him to have that kind of safety net with me there the first time. And I mean, I'm gonna go Monday and wait for the bus and hide around the corner. So if there's a meltdown, I'll take him to school if I need to. But it was not a good night, and I saw a bad part of myself because I was so like frustrated and like almost even angry. Like I was like, please just go back to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. And you know, no, I'm not perfect. I'm so not perfect, especially without sleep. I used to sleep 10 to 12 hours a night before kids. Now, not so much. Ever, ever. So I'm trying to catch a nap now. But it's bright because it's the middle of the day. And I'm like, oh, I should be working. Oh, I should be packing bags for their overnight with their dad. Oh, I should be doing this. Oh, I should be doing that. And the other part of me is like, you went to Target to buy diapers and ended up buying $50 worth of stuff, including, you know, brownie bark, which is not a good idea. It's delicious and it was on sale and I had it for breakfast because, yeah, and yeah, my decision making faculties are not working well. Brownie bark. Yeah. Totally upset my stomach, but pff, whatever. Yeah, so if you're having a rough day, we all have rough days. At least you didn't step in dog diarrhea without your glasses and then have to clean your foot and the poo and oh, it was terrible. Like it was terrible. It was terrible. Yeah. So I love you guys. It's never as hard as you think. And there are always going to at least be fantastic stories that come out of the unfortunate events, right? And that's what we need. So yay. Happy Thursday. I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.